I'm willing to embrace.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it. I do too, and I think that that's what we talk about. You know, it does not matter who the host is because you know that and I know that. And we hang and do all the fun stuff that we get to do. Anyways, how are you? We're in the middle of the week. It is hump day. Yes, hump day, depending on how you want to take a look at it. Anyways, today is Wednesday, July the 27th of 2022, day 208th of the year, and only 157 left to go. Yeah, that's 157. We are 157, so there you go. So anyways, we are broadcasting live. Yes, this is live. This is live and in living color. Yeah, it is, 7:03 Eastern time with 39 seconds currently. That's how far apart we are. So that is what's going on. So anyways, how are you? It's been 23 hours or so since we last had the opportunity of hanging out. So I hope everything is good and grand exactly with whatever the hell you have going on. We are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. Currently, hopefully in the near future, we'll be broadcasting for somewhere else. That's what's going on. Anyways, we're also hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place.
Radio in USA, Canada, UK.
Yeah, so just to make sure that we're clear here, on that side of the house where we talk with the Radio Big people, well, you know, they are hanging out in those areas of USA, Canada, blah, blah, blah. So that's why it always says that. So if not, we'd be hanging out somewhere else in regards of what we were doing. So that is why they reference where they are hanging and banging and all of that fun stuff. So there you go. Anyway, so we are going to be talking today a little bit about everything going on. Apparently, a lot of people are liking these Doors conversations, which I was kind of surprised about. Not exactly what I expected to be in the return. But hey, I like it. I like it when you like it. So it's good on whatever the hell we have going on here. So with that being said, let's start talking right away about the things that are going on inside of the world of the trends. So let's start talking about the trends because let's see what was trending right now. So here we go. In honor of National Auntie Day, Auntie Annie's Day, yeah, the pretzel chain announced that they would be giving away $30,000 to one lucky winner looking for some serious dough. You know, you get it? Serious dough. Let's see. Tony Dow landed on Twitter's top 10 trends after the news of his death broke and then later rescinded. More on the mix-up of the death in a bit, if you want to talk about that. Twitterverse reacted to the devastating news that Klondike is discontinuing the Choco Taco ice cream, the ice cream treat after almost 40 years. I hope a lot of people getting to their 40s, they don't get discontinued because, man, would that suck? In regards of what's going on. I mean, just think about that real quick. And then also Aaron Rodgers was trending on Tuesday after the quarterback showed up to training camp looking like Nicolas Cage character from Con Air. So there you go. There are some pictures readily available online if you're so inclined to take a look-see at that. Matter of fact, can I save this image? Can I save this? I mean, I guess I can save it. I mean, hold on. It's wanting me to rename this. Hold on. Yeah, this is the great thing about radio. So I'm going to tell you the next portion that I'm going to talk about here is not going to make sense to a lot of people if I end up turning around and showing this on the screen, because here's the way that it works. Radio is not visual unless you're on the visual radio aspect of what we have going on here. So let's start it off right away. If you are taking a look at the screener, this is Nicolas Cage in Con Air. Not that hard to figure out. I mean, Nicolas Cage, long hair, kind of bearded. There you go. There's that. And then we have Aaron Rodgers. There you go. Yeah, so if you're taking a look, it's almost a mix and match scenario. And what I will do is I will be kind enough, because I don't know what else to do, and try to throw this on the screen to do a little side-by-side comparison action. So there you go. Some Nick Cage and some Aaron Rodgers. There you go. That look like they belong on Con Air. So there you go. Fun stuff. I mean, you never know what the hell we're going to start off with. So that's what people were losing it about inside of there. So just in case, here's the gig. If you want to do some interactions with the show today, not a difficult thing to do. Pretty simple process. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. It is video calling, audio calling, and messaging. And I will tell you, it is easier for us to get the messages than anything else that's on there. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so we bring in some professional broadcasters to talk about safety in the news and safety. So they talk about some stuff. We come in and talk about some other stuff that's going on inside of the world of the news. And then we try to package it all together and do a big, beautiful bow right at the very end of that thing. And I'm sorry, because I just did that to your ear. And if you have headphones on, you probably hate my guts at the moment. I apologize about that. So there you go. Fun stuff going on right there. So with that being said, let's move forward and do some other things right now, because I think we should probably talk about the news and what is going on inside of the world, because what else would we do? I mean, realistically, what are we going to do here together? We're going to sit here and talk and move and groove. So let's get into some news segments right now by bringing in some professional newscasters and go from there.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. American athlete Brittany Griner will be back in court this morning. The WNBA star has been detained in Russia since February when she was found at the airport with less than a gram of cannabis oil in her luggage. Griner and her lawyers appeared in court yesterday to present evidence. Today, she's expected to take the witness stand. The Justice Department is investigating former President Trump in its criminal probe of last year's Capitol riot. The Washington Post says investigators are examining Trump's conversations in December 2020 and January 2021 and have seized the phone records of top aides. The Federal Reserve is poised to raise interest rates again. Chairman Jerome Powell says this is a measure being taken to combat inflation.
We at the Fed understand the hardship that high inflation is causing. We're strongly committed to bringing inflation back down.
The central bank wraps up its two-day meeting today, and there's very little doubt of an increase. The question is, how much? At least 4 people are dead after a powerful earthquake rocked the Philippines. The 7.1 magnitude quake struck the northern island of Luzon this morning. At least 60 people have been injured. The White House says President Biden is deciding what to do regarding student loans. Mark Mayfield with more.
Biden is debating whether to extend the pause on federal student loan payments, as well as to forgive student loans on a larger scale, as payments are set to resume August 31st. Biden told reporters last week that the end of August was his timeline for coming to a decision. He extended the pandemic moratorium on payments and interest back in April. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Oregon Governor Kate Brown is declaring a state of emergency in 25 counties as the state deals with a dangerous heat wave. Tuesday's declaration was made to have additional resources available to respond to forecasted high temperatures. According to the governor's office, extreme heat with little or no cooling for multiple days could impact critical infrastructure and cause transportation disruptions. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Sally Patterson. Several people have been killed and others injured in the Philippines following a powerful earthquake. Tunisia has voted to give the country's president new powers, which critics warn could see a return to authoritarian rule. Around 40,000 rail workers in the UK are on strike for the fourth day in 5 weeks. And England has made it into the Euro 2022 final after beating Sweden 4-0.
Safety never sounded so terrible.
Rated R Safety Show.
As Pope Francis's Canadian trek continues, he's due to arrive in Quebec today, marking the first papal visit in nearly 4 decades. As he's done this week in Edmonton, the Pope will address Indigenous peoples, including survivors of residential schools, offering apologies for the ways that members of the church participated in cultural destruction and forced assimilation. The only other time a pontiff has visited Quebec was in the 1980s when Pope John Paul II drew an estimated 350,000 people to Mass. Illinois' top Democrats are banding together to push for Chicago to be the host of the 2024 Democratic National Convention. Mayor Lori Lightfoot says the convention would be very beneficial to the city.
The DNC convention generates $150 to $200 million into the local economy of the city it's hosted in, and we expect that to be no different in 2024.
Lightfoot was joined by Governor Pritzker, Illinois Democratic Chair Robin Kelly, and others yesterday to convince the Democratic Party leaders to pick the Windy City to host the event. Chicago is one of 4 finalists, along with New York, Atlanta, and Houston. A New Jersey funeral home is being sued for $50 million for putting the wrong body in a casket at a woman's funeral. Trey Thomas with details.
The Kim family has filed a lawsuit against the Blackley and Central Funeral Home in Ridgefield, claiming the woman in the casket was not their deceased grandmother. Kyung Ja Kim died in November at age 93. At first, her daughter says she assumed her mother looked younger because of the embalming process. She later found out that the body in the casket was another Korean woman named Kim. The funeral director has apologized.
The Mega Millions jackpot is now up to over $1 billion. No one won the third largest Mega Millions prize. It was up for grabs in last night's drawing, so the jackpot once again rolled over. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush.
Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
The Work Wise Summit is an interactive 2-day gathering that will bring like-hearted leaders together like never before as we discuss ways to better align HR, safety, and operations around one common goal: creating the future of work together. Day 1 will focus on self-performance with talks with leading experts on how to live and lead at our best. Day 2 will focus on organizational performance with discussions on what we can do together to break down silos and foster action. The Work Summit will take place at Coker Tire Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Thursday, September the 22nd and Friday, September the 23rd. For more information, go to workzbe.com/Y Summits. That's WORKZBE.com. Y Summit.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
So, do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now, that live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com/one. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms. This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN. Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things is mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of news and entertainment. So let's start talking about it right away. The hit list. Yes, it is 19 minutes past the top of the hour. You are listening to the Rated R Safety Show, just in case if you were wondering what the hell you were listening to. Anyways, the head of Russia's space agency says that his country will pull out of the cooperation with the International Space Station in 2024. They have plans for their own space station afterwards. The Russians have threatened to pull out of the project since getting slapped with sanctions over the invasion of Ukraine. Now it appears it's official. An official transcript of a meeting about the matter, including the head of the Roscosmos and Vladimir Putin, posted in the Kremlin website, shows that Putin approving the plan. So there you go. The International Space Station, well, will be a little bit international as it was at one point, or a little bit less international, or something along those lines. Anyways, Twitter shareholders will formally vote to approve Elon Musk's buyout of the social media platform on September the 13th, but the vote is just a formality as Twitter and Musk remain locked in litigation after Twitter failed to provide accurate data. It's about its monetizable user base and must back out of the deal. A 5-day trial is scheduled on the matter in October. I guess it didn't get pushed back. I mean, I guess I was out of the loop in that particular regards. Anyways, a study of Kaiser, I can't even talk. A study from the Kaiser Family Foundation shows that 43% of parents will not get their children vaccinated against COVID, and another 27% are unsure. Another 13% say that they would only be required for their kids if it applied to them attending school. So far, less than 3% of young children have gotten the jab. Where do you fall with your young children? Have they gotten the jab right there in regards of it, or have you decided against it? So there you go. Anyways, a researcher from Oxford in England reports that just 4 standard alcoholic drinks a week impact the brain. The study reveals that 4 or more drinks a week result in poorer scores on tests in executive function, fluid intelligence, and reaction speed. The study chalks up the matter of mental decline to alcohol boosting levels of iron in specific regions of the brain. Who knew? Who knew? You know, all along, who knew? So now, there you go. There's some information for you. Anyways, how's this for stupid? What? So I'm telling you what it says. I'm just reading it for you. An employee at McDonald's South Burlington, Vermont, caused a scare that triggered evacuation after they threw three rounds of live ammunition on the grill in the kitchen. Yeah, they of course exploded. The diners and staff thought someone was shooting the place up. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported, and as everyone was evacuated, the person that did this stayed behind, and the cops discovered that he had a handgun in his possession too. Eventually, they negotiated his exit, and he was detained. Charges are pending. So hold on, how did you negotiate an exit? Like, hold on. So I threw some ammunition on the grill. And I'm not trying to say that, I was trying to throw some ammunition in regards to what we're talking about with food. I'm talking about I threw some ammunition on the grill. And now, I'm going to stay back and go, well, I don't know if you want to talk to me too much. Please don't press any charges.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves. Only on Safety FM.
Okay, take a listen to this. Summer boaters in Europe are facing yet another unexpected burden this summer. A 1,300-pound walrus that tries to be friendly but often ends up sinking the little skiffs and sailboats. Yep. She's named Freya, and U.S. Today describes her as behavior as cute, clumsy chaos across the old continent, including the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Denmark, and Sweden. Most recently, she sank a boat in Norway after trying to hop on board. Oh, that sounds so lovely, now doesn't it? Anyways, with that being said, I think it's time to bring in some John Smalls for him to tell us about what the hell is going on inside of the world of the market. Take a listen.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Wednesday, July 27th, 2022. Fearful equity markets pulled back more than 1% on Tuesday following the dire news from Walmart. They missed their earnings estimates and cut its guidance, citing the impact of inflation on consumer spending. While sales of food and other staple items continue to be strong, sales of discretionary items are flagging under the weight of inflation. The news was taken as a sign of weakness in the broader economy and had the market shedding discretionary and other inflation-sensitive names, with the FOMC and key inflation due out this week. The FOMC is expected to hike rates by at least 75 basis points and may go for a full 100 basis points in an effort to outrun inflation. Regardless, the economy is already in a recession, and it looks like inflation and the Fed action are going to make it deeper. The PCE index is due Friday and is expected to show an acceleration from the previous month. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Oh, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for letting us down. We're not letting us down, letting us know the knowledge of what the hell's going on inside of the market. Because if you ask me, I have no clue. I just kind of, try to regurgitate what you're telling me. That's for sure. Anyways, take a listen to this real quick. The Dow lost about 228 points on Tuesday, closing at 31,761. The S&P 500 lost about 45 points to close at 3,921, while the NASDAQ lost 220 points to close at 11,560. 2. West Texas Intermediate slipped down to $95.54 a barrel, and Brent crude dipped down to $99.75 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was up to $4.33 on Tuesday. Bitcoin lost about $227 on Tuesday afternoon, trading around $21,080. And there were, 4,461 flights delayed into or out of the United States on Tuesday, and only 592 cancellations. Boy, does that sound much better than what it did the day before, if you really start thinking about it. But maybe you don't want to give too much thought of it, because maybe you're thinking about how you're stuck here and you can't go anywhere, and you don't want to talk about canceled flight because you didn't get to fly on one. Okay, maybe that was a little rough. I don't know. We're just talking here. Anyway, so it is, some information that we need to talk about today about the top 5 fiction and nonfiction books currently on the New York Times bestsellers list. So if we're taking it from the bottom to the top, to the top to the bottom, and we're going into the fiction category, let's start off with this. How is it the top 5 and I have a 6 here? How did that happen? Okay, so I'll give you 6 because it's there. The Hotel Nantucket at number 6. At number 5, Ugly Love. At number 4, The 620 Man. I don't know what that means. At number 3, Verity. At number 2, It Ends With Us. And at the number 1 spot, according to the fiction category, it's Where the Crawdads Sing. So there you go. So let's take it to the other side of the equation. So at number 5, according to the nonfiction category, based on the New York Times bestsellers list, Happy Go Lucky. At number 4, Battle for the American Mind. At number 3, The Body Keeps the Score. At number 2, Thank You for Your Servitude. And at the number 1 spot, Tanqueray. Yes, there you go. Tanqueray is at the number 1 spot in regards of what was going on. So take a listen to this, because I talked about it at the very beginning. So I will make reference to it right now. Early Tuesday, multiple outlets reported that Tony Dow had died, but he actually didn't. TMZ corrected the error, saying Leave It to Beaver star death was prematurely announced by his wife, who is very distraught over him being in hospice. In May, it was revealed that he had been diagnosed with cancer. Further clarification was not given on the mistake. Dow is 77. So imagine that. You're taking a look around and you find out that, hey, according to news sources, you're dead. Yeah, D-E-D. Okay, I'm just kidding. I know that that's not how you spell it, but I love saying it that way. Yeah, but think about it. So all of a sudden now you're freaked out because this is what people are saying. It makes you kind of think some stuff. Anyways, let's take a look around at what is going on inside of the world of news. We are 28 minutes past the top of the hour. Illinois Democratic leader pushed Chicago to host the 2024 DNC. Illinois' top Democrat forces to push Chicago to be the host of the 24 Democratic National Convention. Perry Williams has more info.
Mayor Lightfoot says the convention would be very beneficial to the city.
The DNC convention generates 150 to 200 million into the local economy of the city it's hosted in, and we expect that to be no different in 2024.
The mayor was joined by Governor Pritzker, Illinois Democratic Chair Robin Kelly, and others yesterday to convince Democratic Party leaders to pick the Windy City to host the event. Chicago is one of 4 finalists, along with New York, Atlanta, and Houston. I'm Perry Williams.
Okay, thank you, Perry Williams, for that one. Take a listen to this real quick. Heat wave prompts Oregon Governor Brown to declare a state of emergency. The Oregon Kate Brown is declaring a state of emergency in 25 counties as the state deals with dangerous heat waves. Michael Kastner has more information.
Tuesday's declaration was made to have additional resources available to respond to forecasted high temperatures, according to the governor's office. Extreme heat with little or no cooling for multiple days could impact critical infrastructure and cause transportation disruptions. The state of emergency will continue through July 31st. I'm Michael Kastner.
Okay, thank you, Michael, for that one, letting us know what is going on right there. Let's take a look around here. Did you hear about this one? Okay, maybe we did not hear about this one because everything's gone. A dead man has been found in Brooklyn driveway. Police say that a body laying on a Diker Heights Brooklyn driveway on Tuesday morning was carted there by a man using a hand truck. Noam Layden has more info.
First of all, there's only 1.9% vacancy rate, so there's no supply. Plus, the higher interest rates, a lot of people who were looking to purchase houses, they can't afford it, so they are now turning into renters.
Something tells me that is not the correct sequence of what was supposed to be going on. So let me tell you real quick. I think we might need to change news sources here for a second, because that sounded like it was a little wacky right there, because I'm pretty sure that is not exactly what was supposed to be going on there. So let's move it around, because let's take a listen to what really is going on out there. So now I'm starting to wonder if the driveway stuff is really that messed up. So let's take a listen.
First of all,
yep, that is messed up right there for sure. Let's continue talking. A family of a teen that was shot to death by the LAPD is suing the LAPD. The parents of the 14-year-old girl that was mistakenly shot to death by a Los Angeles police officer is suing the LAPD, and the officers who fired the shot. Daniel Martindale has more info.
On December 23rd, the girl was in a dressing room at a Burlington store in North Hollywood with her mother when an LAPD officer fired at an assault suspect. A bullet pierced the dressing room wall, killing the girl. Her mother says officers ordered her to leave the dressing room and did not immediately tell her that her daughter was dead. The family says the LAPD failed to properly train and supervise the officers who responded to the incident. I'm Daniel Martindale.
That's a terrible news story in regards of what is going on there for sure. Anyways, an off-duty cop shoved onto a subway track. NYPD cops are searching for a man who shoved an off-duty cop onto a subway track at the Park Place station on Monday afternoon. Noam Layden has more info.
The 40-year-old officer says he never saw the man who pushed him from behind as he waited for a train during the afternoon rush. The man who shoved him able to get away by hopping on a train. Police have released surveillance images of the attacker. They show him jumping a turnstile at the station. The officer suffered some minor leg injuries in that fall. Noam Layden, NBC News Radio, New York.
Okay, I think it's time close enough to do that thing that we do right around now.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so we've been talking about all the interesting aspects of doors this week, and guess what? We have another one for you. And listen, I want to make sure that I'm pretty clear here, because it's not a book, it's not something else, it's not something that we're changing up, it's not something we're talking about, but somebody brought in the comment yesterday. And I thought maybe this is an interesting one to talk about being inside of organizations, because, listen, we've talked about the opportunity. We've talked about the forbidden door. So the person did bring up something that was kind of interesting, I thought, at least. And they were talking about, well, the secret door. And you probably sit there for a moment and go, what the hell are you going to talk about today with the secret door? So let's talk about some very odd things, because that's probably the easier way to start this. You know how sometimes you work at organizations and you never understand on how to move up? You never understand on what you need to do to be able to go further down the path. You're kind of like stuck in limbo. You kind of go, well, I would like to move forward, but nobody's giving me really an explanation on how to do what the hell I'm supposed to do. But I'm stuck here, so how do I move? And you see that other people are getting promoted, and you probably have 10,000 questions on how that's occurring. And you sit there and you go, well, I would like to get promoted too. And you hear about the secret door. You hear about this brass ring, this invisible line of something that you're supposed to grab a hold of and be able to move forward. Because people have inside of organizations these secret doors, brass wings that they expect you to be able to climb up to and be able to move on from. And that's how you get promoted. At least that's, the theory. But maybe that's something that we start thinking about. Opposed to having this imaginary secret door, how about you go to the head person in charge? You go to the head person that's there, and you ask that all-important question. And it goes something very similar like this. What do I need to do to help improve the organization? That's the first question. And then followed by, how can I improve where I am at with inside of the organization? It's a pretty simple process. And listen, if you are in an organization that's pretty open and honest about stuff, they'll tell you straight. They will tell you straight what you need to do. If you're at one of those places that's kind of, questionable, they might not tell you straight exactly what needs to be done. So it's kind of a pickle. And some people are probably sitting there for a moment and going, well, you're kind of simplifying this too much. Well, listen, I have come to the realization that most of the advances that I've ever had in my career started off with one simple thing: a question. Seriously. Because most of the times, people don't ask. And that's all you have to do, is ask. You might actually get an answer that you might be surprised about. It's always been interesting to me, because I think sometimes there is a level of fear of asking the question that people are scared to move on because of that. I have been extremely blessed in relationships, my career, because I did that simple, basic thing. I asked the question. Here's the great part about it. The worst thing in most questions that somebody could tell you is no. Really. Like if you say, hey, what do I need to do to improve my career? Nothing. So then you might have some more questions. But that's kind of the simplicity of this thing. This door, this brass ring, normally consists of asking questions. I know that there are organizations that have 10,000 layers, it seems like, to be able to move inside of there. It's starting off by grabbing somebody and getting their ear. Not grabbing them by their ear, but grabbing someone and just hang and asking those questions. Because listen, that's the fun part. There's already somebody who understands on how that system works. There's somebody who already understands on what needs to be done. And sometimes we tend to overcomplicate some of these things when they don't need to be. So is the secret door really a secret door? Or is it, we'll just call it the crap that people don't want to go through when it comes to a work environment. I get it. It makes a lot of sense to me where you don't want to go through those structures. But then again, what the hell do I know? I'm just a guy right here behind a microphone. Think about it.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast
Podcast Network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you. It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with Home Title Lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com. These days, it can be hard to find and hire the right candidates for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs made it easier to find the people that you want to talk to faster and for free. I have to tell you, even before they ever became a sponsor here on Safety FM, we have used LinkedIn Jobs to help find the people that we have here on Safety FM. It's an easy service to use. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of only the most qualified candidates. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/safetyfm. That's linkedin.com/safetyfm to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
Silence as you hold your breath. Moments at the brush with day. Don't you dare leave me now.
Okay, there you go. 44 minutes past the top of the hour. You are still hanging out here on Radio Big and Safety FM. This is the Rated R Safety Show. And this right here is Bittersweet by Nam. Songs readily available on Spotify and iTunes if you're so inclined to take a listen and a gander and a download. Thanks for Nam for allowing us to play Bittersweet here on the Rated R Safety Show. So there you go. Anyways, let's continue moving on and talking and moving and grooving and doing all the fun stuff that we get to do because it's always a good time when you and I get to hang out. Anyways, as we start off talking, let me tell you real quick about the most important thing that I will ever tell you about. We can help prevent suicide. The Lifeline provides 24/7 free and confidential support for people in distress, prevention, and crisis resources for you and your loved ones, and best practices for professionals in the United States. If you are struggling with mental health at the moment, you're more than welcome on calling the 9888 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. All you have to do is call 988 if you're here in the U.S. The 1-800-273-8255 number will still be functional, or you can always go to the website at you can go to the 9888lifeline.org. One probably be the easiest way to do it, or text the word talk to 9888, and that will get everything moving and grooving and going your general direction. Listen, this conversation is always an important one. It is something that we should always talk about regardless of whatever the hell is going on, because mental health is always important for us to talk about. So let's be realistic. So as we are talking, so there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of that particular world as we are moving forward, and all of that stuff right there. So let's continue talking. What is this? Okay. So there you go. With that being said, so what do we have going on? I don't know. We got still a lot of news to talk about, so don't worry about that. I'm not going to disappear on you in the middle of this. So anyways, a red light district phone-obsessed Hong Kong residents are getting some extra help so they won't be forced to remove their faces from their screens at intersections. In an experiment aimed to improving pedestrian safety and devices installed at several road crossing projects, red light onto the edge of the sidewalk, yes, as well as any pedestrian standing there. Whenever a don't walk signal is engaged, the Hong Kong Transport Department says that the devices address risk factors such as inattentiveness and headless crossing. Yes, I said headless crossing, not a joke here, which have been exacerbated and increase phone usage. The new system is currently used in 7 crosswalks across the city and will be monitored for effectiveness. If the 6-month pilot project is a success, the devices will be implemented more widely. A recent survey found that about 100 Hong Kong pedestrians entering a crosswalk, at least half were interacting with their cell phones. Like, how the hell does this even happen? Like, why are you not looking at what the hell is going on in front of you? Maybe that's the better question. Anyways, I kind of figured that this is the type of problem that fixes itself, but I guess not. All technology in the world is sitting right here in our hands, and we don't have an app for this. So something to think about. I have to tell you, and we can talk about this. It's always amazing to me the power that a cell phone has and the amount of things that you can do with it and the amount of shit that we do with cell phones that have nothing to do with kind of making things better for ourselves. Seriously. I mean, think about the level of craziness that there is on your cell phone, on the things that you can do, and how much knowledge is sitting right in front of you. It can get dark quick when I start talking about it in that fashion. Anyways, with that being said, I think it might be some times to bring in some Johnny Smalls for some Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Drake. Tony Clark said, "I enjoy every day because I choose to." I love that. It's a great quote. I've talked about this whole concept before. I've also had people tell me that it's not a choice to be happy or miserable. I completely disagree. Now, unless there's a medical condition that may require medication, and I know that does exist, and I also know that I don't know enough about it to really speak about that with any authority, but for the rest of us, here's an idea. Wake up every day for the next week and tell yourself, today is going to be a great day. Then hop out of bed and do everything possible to make that happen. Go ahead and try it. What do you have to lose? This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlasaMorgan.com. Sometimes when looking for healthier options at a grocery store, it's difficult to distinguish between what's actually better for us and what is nothing but a well-marketed product that is not beneficial for our health. One such product is agave. It's marketed with low glycemic index, which means that it's not going to raise your blood sugar that much, and that's true because agave is fructose, and fructose doesn't have much of impact on blood sugar. However, what happens is fructose stores as fat a lot easier. It goes into the liver and takes the free fatty acids that are circulating in the bloodstream, helping us out as nutrients, and turns them into the storage form of fat, known as triglycerides. We need to be very careful with agave, and when looking for sugar substitutes, you'll be better off using dolcetти, stevia, or monk fruit. For additional information, check out alasamorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
So what about blue agave where, a lot of the tequila stuff comes from? Maybe we should have that conversation. I want to understand that better. Seriously. What's going on here? Why are we talking about it? I want to know. I want to know about where the blue agave goes. I might take a weekend trip down to Baja, Mexico. Okay, now that's a whole other story. Anyway, so let's start talking real quick. Alex Jones appears for the first day of damages trial. Let's see, InfoWars host Alex Jones was in the courtroom yesterday as the damages portion of the defamation trial goes underway. Jones spoke to the media during the trial's first break.
You're having all of your rights robbed. This is a kangaroo court. This is a show trial. This is a Constitution destroying, absolute, total, and complete travesty.
The parents of the murdered Sandy Hook students, Jesse Lewis, already won the lawsuit by default that was filed over Jones claiming that the school massacre was a hoax. Their lawyer announced on Tuesday that they are seeking two awards of $75 million, $1 for every American duped by the Austin-based conspiracy theorist. Jones arrived at court yesterday with a tape over his mouth bearing the words, "Save the First," but the tape was gone when he entered the courtroom. The hearing is to determine how much in damages Jones will have to pay to the parents of the murdered boy. So think about this real quick. It's an interesting one on how he has this tied in, and it'll be interesting to see how Alex Jones moves forward with this. There's a lot of comments that we could probably go over and talk about in regards of Alex Jones, and everybody. It's one of those names that when you hear it, most people have some kind of response if they're familiar with InfoWars. What do you think? It could be good, bad, or different. It's all of a matter of what you think about it. Really, that's one way to look at it. Anyways, let's continue talking real quick about some other stuff that is going on inside of the world here, because that's what we're always doing. We are talking about this. So let's talk real quick about this one, because this one kind of started making the rounds. Keith Olbermann signs a podcast deal with iHeartRadio. Political commentary, well, let's see. Political commentary is what Keith Olbermann is known for, and he's moving into the podcast world. Michael Kastner has more info. Take a listen.
The Wall Street Journal reports the former MSNBC and ESPN host has signed a partnership with iHeartMedia for a daily podcast. Countdown with Keith Olbermann will debut August 1st and feature Olbermann talking about politics and sports. Olbermann told the outlet he plans for his podcast to run just over half an hour and will bring back his well-known Worst Person in the World segment. I'm Michael Kastner.
So it'll be interesting to listen to some Keith Olbermann coming back onto the airwaves in regards to that. And I shouldn't say podcast as airwaves because that confuses people. But it'll be interesting to see what he has to say on how he moves forward and does all the stuff that he's doing. That is for sure as we are talking. So let's continue taking a look around here. It is Wednesday, so you know how this goes. We talk a little bit about everything. Let's talk about Did You Know real quick. Exercises are not does not compensate for poor diet. According to researchers from the University of Sydney, a new study has found that even though if you spend all day and night at the gym or running laps, you'll still be better off staying clear of fatty foods, processed food, and a team concluded that the high level of physical activity do not counteract the detrimental effects of poor diet and mortality risk. They found that those who both exercise frequently and stick to a healthy diet have a lower risk of death unless they're exercising in my neighborhood. So then that becomes something entirely different. No, seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not joking as I say that. Even though there's a smile on his face, it is no joke. It is no joke. Anyways, let's talk about some whack facts real quick. It takes 200 muscles to take one step. Saudi Arabia imports camels from Australia. The world has been at peace only 8% of the time over the last 3,500 years. The Bermuda Triangle isn't any more likely to cause a mysterious disappearance than anywhere else. The inventor of the revolutionary doors did so because he hated opening doors for women. And the patent for the first fire hydrant was lost in a fire. That's not a joke. That's all serious biz as I'm talking about it. So just keep that in mind as we are talking. Anyways, at the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm. If you want to come and hang out, you're more than welcome on doing so. And we'll do a couple of hours of music and all that kind of fun stuff because that's what we do over here. Or you can keep it locked here on Safety FM and take a listen to what we have going on inside of the world of safety with the next show that's coming up. That's how that goes. Anyways, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Let's see. Back in 2017, Jeff Bezos briefly becomes the world's richest man at $91.4 billion, overtaking Bill Gates. His time on the top was less than half a day. So there you go. Anyways, let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Winnie Harlow turns 28. Jordan Spieth turns 29. Indiana Evans turns 32. Taylor Schilling turns 38. Smiley turns 39. Dolph Ziggler, 42. Alex Rodriguez, 47. Triple H, yes, Paul Levesque turns 53 today. Julianne McMahon turns 54. And Donnie Yen turns 59. So there you go. Those are some birthdays that are going on today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, I got some of those for you. It's National Scotch Day, National Creme Brulee Day, Walk on Stilts Day, and Take Your Houseplant for a Walk Day. I guess that's some stuff you can do if you're really into that kind of stuff, if you're so inclined to do so. Anyways, if you need a joke for today, screaming into a pillow is therapeutic, but it also gets you kicked out of Target. If you need a phone starter today, try this one. What was the best part of being a teenager? I don't know. Should I say that out loud? Probably not. Let's see. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this one. 2% of people say that they have never washed this. What is it? Their pillowcase. What were you thinking? What kind of dirty thing came to your mind? Anyways, that's it. That's going to sum it up for us today. Thanks for hanging out, doing the things that you do on your end. It's always important for us to be able to hang out together. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. Without you, we cannot do what we do around here. That is for sure. Anyways, if I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Success isn't the result of the amount of time you put in, but the quality of time you put in. Because that seniority thing is not always what people think that it's cracked out to be. Think about it. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Bittersweet moments so close to lost that I clench my teeth.